Hello, my name is Sebastian Villarreal, and this is Reflection 2 Self-Leadership. Now, after watching this video of Ken Blanchard talk about mastering self-leadership, I'd have to say the two things that I learned were, in order to become a leader, you must look upon thyself. You must call out yourself. You must have to know what it takes in order to build your way up to becoming a leader. You have to lead by example, essentially. Know what it takes, know what you have to do. And in the video, he goes on by saying, you have to know how to take initiative. That's step one. And after step one, eventually you'll more or less become not only successful by yourself, but successful with your peers or whoever you bring along in your life. And speaking of life, I'd also have to say the second thing that I learned was about Alfred Nobel, who I'd have to say got a second chance at life. Getting a second chance at life is probably the luckiest thing that I've ever heard. Especially when it talks about the mix-up between him and his brother being the one who had passed away, but everybody thought it was him, and he looked in the obituary, and considering everybody thought he was one who died, he looked at how people reacted, and in the obituary it says, he was pretty much a master of destruction. He was the creator of dynamite. He was gonna, he basically didn't help the world. He tore the world apart. And from there, he decided, you know what? I don't want to be remembered this way. This was essentially a blessing in disguise. I don't want to be remembered this way. I'm going to go and do the opposite of being a master of destruction. I'm going to be essentially the master of peace, which, lo and behold, Alfred Nobel is the creator of the Nobel Peace Prize, something that we still celebrate yearly to this day. And so, unfortunately, I am not a student athlete by any means. However, this concept does resonate in my life only because there are many things that I essentially want to do in this life, and there are times where I look upon to other people and I go, hey, why, what do I have to do? Why is this working for you? When instead I should just sit down, take a deep breath, and just say, okay, what is not working? Where am I messing up? And how can I essentially turn my life around for the better? Once I do that and I go back and, as said in the video, to take initiative, self-initiative, become, work on self-leadership before I become a leader for others, then I will more or less progress through life for the better. And 3 types of supporting material for a speech are as follows. So they are examples, statistics, and testimony. When it comes to examples are more or less just not too deep into depth. Examples could be anything, such as there are many things that could stain your teeth. One being, for example, coffee. Coffee is known to stain many people's teeth. Now, that's an example. Statistic, on the other hand, would be out of 1,000 people that drink coffee every day, about 900 of those people have stained teeth and suffer from stained teeth. That would be a statistic, basically saying that 9 out of 10 people suffer from stained teeth. And testimony would be something like, don't take it from me, take it from Dr. Smith, who states in his studies that over 10 years in the dentist industry, about 9/10 of his clientele are suffering from stained teeth on a daily basis. And how you could fix it is by using baking soda and adding baking soda to your toothpaste. That could be someone's testimony. It's essentially, with testimony, it's more or less about someone who's a professional in a certain area of life who knows much more and studies much more over a particular topic. while, like as I said before, examples are pretty broad and statistics more or less resonate just around numbers. So that's where certain supporting details are differing from one another. And lastly, when it comes to plagiarism, plagiarism is most definitely wrong and should be avoided at all times when in writing or when in speaking, because plagiarism is the taking of one's ideas that are not yours and making them seem as though they are yours, to then give you credit, to then give you any monetary gain, to then lift you in status, um, essentially make you be perceived as something great and something of intelligence, when in actuality you just took it from somebody else and then marked it as your own. That is very, very wrong, and I do not consider anyone who uses plagiarism as someone to be taken kindly. Um, with that being stated, that is my reflection to self leadership. Thank you.